Okay, so, oh, that wasn't what I was looking for. I wonder if that was not what I was trying to do. Right, you're recording, I'm recording, good. I think I clicked on the wrong button. Right, okay. So, now what as you know, last week you were working through that revision pack for the 3 lessons. So, well done all of you for doing that. Now, what I really am looking for you guys to do, and quite a few have done it already, but not all of you, I want you to go over onto that page in Teams, the page where I go and leave my comments. I just want you, if you could just give me a couple of feedback on, how did you find that revision pack? Were there any questions you couldn't do and all of that? So I just want a bit of feedback on that, please. Once you've done that feedback, I then want you to press handed in, and then I can go and have a look at that feedback. I think a few of you have just pressed handed in because you've done the work, which is great, but I really want you to, I really want to know how you feel about that Michaelmas work. Do you feel that you're okay with them all, apart from the last couple, or that sort of thing? Okay. Now, what I thought from the feedback that I have had, I just wanted to have a lesson or two where we just go over some of those bits that you thought were a bit trickier. Okay. And one of those was where we're not only are we solving a linear equation, we're constructing it in the first place. So if you remember, these were the ones like we did in class where we'd go and say, think of somebody's age, and Hannah's 5 and Beryl's 3 years older than Hannah, and then so and so's twice as old as that person, and it's that sort of stuff where we constructed an equation and then we solved it. And there's a nice little Hegarty that does this. Okay, Hegarty 177 addresses this, so it's a little bit different to what we've done before. So I just wanted to model each of the types of question that come up in Hegarty 177. Okay, so just get my pen ready. So this is how the first few questions look. Okay. Let's just get my pen working. There we go. Good. Sorry about that. So here we go. So Pip was thinking of a number, and we're going to call that number X. Now Pip adds 2 to it. So in your workings, you're going to go X plus 2. And then Pip doubles it. Now he's doubling the whole thing. So make it clear you're doubling all of it. You have to put that in a bracket and then put a 2 in front, because that's going to be 2 lots of it. That will be doubling it. Okay, so Pip has thought of a number, he's added 2, and then we're doubling all of that. And when Pip does that, they get a final answer of 70. Now, if that's the constructing the equation, this is using algebra to help us solve a problem. Okay, now the next bit is the solving, which I'm going to do in purple. Now, 2 ways you could solve this. You could just divide by 2 straight away, but I think it's good to get in the habit of, when you've got a bracket, you multiply it out. So we're going to be doing the claw. So 2 times x is 2x. 2 times plus 2 is plus 4. And that equals 70. So how do we solve this? We take away 4 from both sides. So 2x equals 66. We divide by 2 to give us x equaling 33. And that's our final answer. That's the number Pip was thinking of to start with. Because if you add 2 to that, you get 35. You double that, you get 70. So I want you guys, particularly on these easier ones, to practice setting it out properly. Don't just sort of do it in your head, please. So that's what the questions like 1, 2, 3, and 4 are like. So let's just go and have a look at questions like question 6. So Gordon thinks of a number which is x. Gordon doubles it. So the doubling comes first now. So we'll double the x. We then add 20, and that gives us 66.3. So there we go. We've constructed an equation. So to unsolve it, we've got to unpack it. We've got to work backwards. So remember, if we knew what x was, we would double it and then add 20. So we've got to do that in the opposite order. So we've got to undo the last thing first. We've got to get rid of that add 20 first. How do we undo a plussing of 20? We take away 20 from both sides. So we get 2x equaling 46.3. We then halve both sides to get rid of the doubling. We get x equaling 23.15, I think. All right. So next one. Fiona thinks of a number. First of all, she divides it by 8. So I would like you to represent as that being x divided by 8. Okay, just put x over 8. No need for a division sign. We then add 11 to all of that, and that gives us 7. Now that's where we've constructed the equation. We now have to unpack it. So you've got to be very clear in your mind what first bit of unpacking comes first. Well, if we had x, we would divide by 8 and then add 11. So it's the opposite order. So the adding 11 came last with all of that. So undoing that adding 11 has to come first. So the first thing we're going to do is take away 11 from both sides. So on the left, that leaves us with x over 8. Okay, that's still there, just the plus 11's gone. And 7 take away 11 is minus 4. Just be careful there with the number line. If you're on 7 and you take away 11, that takes you into the minuses. And then finally, how do we undo a dividing by 8? We multiply by 8. So x equals minus 4 times plus 8. Remember, a sad times a happy is a sad. That's going to be minus and 4/8 of 32. All right, so if you had minus 32, you divided it by 8, you'd get minus 4. You add 11, that would indeed take you to 7. And then finally, this question here. So Nick thinks of a number, he adds 11. He then divides by 6. Now he's dividing all of that. He's dividing it once we've added the 6. So make it clear that all of that is being divided by 6. That's really important. Okay. So he adds 11. He divides by 6 to get an answer of minus 7. So there we have constructed an equation in blue. We're now going to solve it in purple. So remember what comes first. You've got to decide in your head, are you taking away 11 or are you timesing by 6? What are you going to do first to undo? Now your thought process is, I need to do it the opposite way. If I knew what x was, I first of all add 11, and then I secondly divide by 6. So we've got to unpack that in the opposite order. So we've got to undo this dividing by 6 first. How do we undo dividing by 6? We multiply by 6. Do it to both sides. So when we get rid of this dividing by 6, what are we left with on the left? We're left with x plus 11. And then on the right, minus 7 times plus 6 is minus 42. And then finally, how do we undo an adding of 11? We take away 11 from both sides. So we're left with x equaling, be careful here, think of it on a number line, you're way over in the minuses on minus 42. We take away another 11, takes us further into the minuses. That's going to take us to minus 53. So that's it, folks. I'll be interested to see how you get on with these. I'm not sure whether these are difficult or these are okay. So we'll see how you get on. So your priority, please, is to work your way through this Hegarty 177 and get a good mark. If you could, though, also just go and click on that link and just answer those silly little times tables. I'm going to go and have a look at those because I'm just really, I'm just experimenting with that software because as well as I think this Hegarty is working at every lesson, I would like to give you a bit more variety, but equally I'm really keen that I can give you feedback straight away. So if I can upload a worksheet and I can watch you guys as you work on it, That could be really useful, I think. Okay, guys. So thanks for listening and good luck with number 177.